The night Daniel lost everything was the night he finally looked up to God. He had spent years neglecting his family, laughing at faith, and living only for himself. But when the flames rose and his world burned, Daniel discovered a truth he never expected. He was still worth saving. Daniel was well known in his town, but not for good reasons. He drank too much, lied easily, and lived only for himself. He neglected his family, missing meals, forgetting birthdays, and choosing alcohol over responsibility. His words were sharp, his promises empty. Those who loved him learned not to expect much. Whenever someone mentioned God or church, Daniel laughed. He believed church was for good people, and he was sure he didn't belong there. Yet deep inside, Daniel carried guilt. At night, when the house was quiet, his thoughts grew heavy. He remembered the disappointment in his family's eyes, the trust he had broken, and the love he had taken for granted. More than once, he told himself it was too late to change. One night, Daniel came home drunk and collapsed into bed without a care in the world. He woke up to shouting. At first, he thought he was dreaming. Then he smelled smoke. Thick, choking smoke filled the room. Heat rushed toward him as flames crept closer. The house was on fire. Daniel stumbled outside as neighbors and emergency responders pulled his family to safety. He stood in the street, shaking, watching flames rise higher and higher. Within minutes, the house he had lived in was completely destroyed. Everything he owned was gone, but his family was alive. Something inside Daniel broke. For the first time in his life, he felt helpless. He dropped to his knees, not caring who was watching.
God, if you are real, thank you for saving my family. I don't deserve mercy. I neglected the people you gave me. I lived selfishly. But please, don't give up on me.
Tears streamed down his face. That night, Daniel lost his home, but he gained humility. After the fire, he could no longer return to his old ways. Drinking no longer filled the emptiness. The guilt remained, but now it was mixed with gratitude. His family had been spared, and he knew it was not by accident. One Sunday morning, Daniel stood outside a church. Shame held him at the door. He wondered if God could forgive a man who had failed his family so deeply. Then he remembered the fire. He remembered that they were still alive. Daniel walked inside. During the service, the pastor read, "Though your sins are like scarlet, they shall be as white as snow." When prayer time came, Daniel bowed his head.
Jesus, I can't undo my past, but I want to change. Please forgive me. Teach me how to love again.
He didn't hear a voice or see a vision, but peace settled in his heart, gentle, steady, real. Life didn't become perfect overnight. Trust had to be rebuilt. Change took time. But when Daniel felt weak, he prayed. When guilt returned, he remembered that forgiveness is a gift, not a reward. Years later, Daniel often shared his story with those who felt hopeless. "No one is too broken for God," he would say. "If he could forgive me, he can forgive anyone." Sometimes God allows us to lose what we depend on so that we can discover who we truly need. No matter how far you have gone, God's mercy goes farther. Jesus came for the lost, and when we turn to him, he welcomes us with open arms. You are worthy of his love. If this story encouraged you, please like, subscribe, and share.